If you're planning to install and test macOS Tahoe on your unsupported Mac, do not install the last 4 OpenCore betas that were updated just a few hours ago. This is a very serious warning you should not ignore. In my previous videos, I showed that the OpenCore Legacy Patcher team is working on version 3.0.0, which is currently in beta and will eventually support macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs. I also explained how you can download these beta builds from their official page. Many people get confused seeing so many betas and ask me, which beta should I use to test macOS Tahoe on my unsupported Mac? Let's clear that up. Every time the OCLP team adds a new feature, they release a new beta and label it. Here's the critical part: the last 4 builds labeled main. You should never use them for macOS Tahoe. Installing them will break your keyboard, mouse, trackpad, and USB ports. These main builds are basically night versions of the old stable 2.4.0. They include experimental changes and are not meant for macOS Tahoe. Now, a simple rule for easy understanding: the nightly build labeled 3.0.0 is the one for macOS Tahoe, while any nightly build labeled 2.4.0 is not for Tahoe. Now, you might wonder, if the stable version is already out, how can beta versions appear later? Here's the simple truth: the stable version comes from a special branch that only has fully tested fixes. It's safe and ready to use. The beta versions, on the other hand, come from the main branch, which keeps receiving new code updates and features even after the stable release. That's why you might see beta versions after the stable version. They are testing versions meant for experimenting, not for everyday use. So, which beta should you use? Always go for the topmost beta labeled OS Next. That one has all the latest features and proper support for macOS Tahoe. The lower betas have fewer features, and remember, main equals no. If you've already installed the wrong beta and your Mac is unresponsive, don't panic. Just download the latest OS Next beta. Open OpenCore Legacy Patcher, click Build and install OpenCore. And reinstall it on your main disk. Your keyboard, mouse, trackpad, and USB ports will start working again. No need to reinstall macOS Tahoe. Remember, for macOS Tahoe on unsupported Macs, always pick the top OS Next beta. Never touch the main builds, they'll break your Mac. Stay tuned for updates as the stable 3.0.0 version approaches. This video is mainly to clear confusion for everyone asking which beta to install, and also for those who don't know the difference between main and OS Next builds.